Hi everyone, this is Jen Avery, and I am coming to you with another episode of Center Stage through the Front Royal Women's Resource Center. Today, we are here with Joanne Cherefko, and she's going to tell us a little bit about her new poetry book, Souls Tilled Like Soil. Thanks for being here, Joanne.
No, I appreciate your being here, Jen.
Absolutely. So I have a couple questions here, a little different than usual, but I think you're going to get some really good information from Joanne doing it this style. Number one, when did your love of poetry begin?
I think I was probably about 12 years old when I realized I was in love with poetry. I don't remember a particular poem my mother or a teacher had read to me, but I knew every time I wanted to express my thoughts and feelings that I wanted to write a poem.
What purpose has it served in your life?
I know it's incredible, but it has served two very important purposes in my life. One is personal and one is professional. But on a personal level, my parents had a very rocky marriage. And I was an overly sensitive child who always ran away from conflict. I would go up to my bedroom and I would, have an outlet for those terrible feelings in the form of poetry. And then when my mom died suddenly in 1976, all of that darkness inside of me came out in a plethora of poetry. And so it became a coping mechanism and my go-to form of therapy.
Yes, it's like therapy.
Yeah. And then professionally, I began teaching poetry in 1973.
Okay.
And as a high school English teacher, it was my favorite genre to teach. And I love it so much that even now, 20 years after my retirement, I take every opportunity I can get to teach poetry at Warren County High School and Mountain Vista Governor School.
Great.
Just last year, I conducted 9 virtual poetry seminars for students at both campuses of Mountain Vista, and I loved every minute of it, teaching challenging poems to high school students who then get it is just one of the greatest joys in my life.
Yes, I was sharing that when I walk in the woods with the dogs, sometimes I feel like I can speak poetry, and Joanne said I should definitely try to write it down.
Absolutely. I mean, that's to me the greatest form of poetry, when it just comes out of you automatically.
Yeah, it just comes out sometimes. What inspired you to write Souls Tilled Like Soil?
Well, this is my 3rd book, and I never thought I'd have a 3rd book in me. But then the pandemic arrived on our shores, and I experienced extreme anxiety and panic. And all of a sudden, all of those feelings got funneled into a cascade of poems. And the racial and political divide in this country also inspired a few poems in the book.
Okay. Does the entire book deal with all of the frightening aspects of the pandemic and social unrest in our country?
Absolutely not, because I don't think anyone would buy that book. Right. So beyond those two subjects, it deals with the power of nature to soothe our souls, and my love for my husband.
Oh, that's wonderful. Should the poems be read in order, or can the reader pick and choose from all the sections of the book?
Well, it's always the reader's prerogative to pick and choose, put the book down, come back to it. But if the reader wants to take that journey from darkness to light, I do recommend that they read the poems and the sections in order. Sure. The first 2 sections, fear and isolation, are about the pandemic and the divisiveness in our country. But the 3rd section, visions, that's where it gets a tiny bit crazy. Because
crazy is good.
Yeah, I take a look at my inner self, my outer self, and my relationship to the world, the outer world. And then section 4, is all about nature, and it's called Solace.
Wonderful.
Because during the pandemic, nature was my companion and my source of strength and hope. And then the last section is called Redemption, because it's all about my love for my husband and his love for me, because he's always there to save me when life becomes overwhelming.
Sure. I think through the pandemic, a lot more people got outside when we were homebound and walked and took up jogging and spending time in nature.
Yes.
So I think a lot of people will be able to relate to what you share.
Absolutely.
How would you characterize your poetic style in this book? Are the poems literal, or does the reader have to decipher a deeper meaning?
Well, unlike the second section in my first book, not all of these poems are difficult to understand. some abstract poems are scattered a little bit, especially in the vision section,
Okay.
but no. For the most part, these poems are accessible and relatable because we've all experienced the isolation during the shutdown, love and loss, the divisiveness in this country, which is disturbing, and the power of Mother Nature to, just help us through these difficult times.
And heal. There's
Yes.
such healing out there.
It is. And if I want to feel better, all I have to do is look outside my back windows. Yeah.
And I don't know if everybody can see, but there's amazing mountain views right here. Oh gosh. And we have a fountain babbling behind us. So it's wonderful here. When and where will you be launching this book?
My first book launch will be 2 weeks from today, Wednesday, May 25th at 4:30 at the Shenandoah River State Park, which is also called Andy Guest State Park, right off 340 in Bentonville. And you take that road, the entrance road, past the entrance station, go all the way to the end, take a right, and then an immediate right up to the Massanutten Shelter, which is the largest shelter in the park.
Okay.
And I will have park passes for people who are attending my launch, so they don't have to pay the $10.
Wonderful.
And the event will be catered by my friend Devon Smith and his Delightful Foods Catering. Yeah,
We
he's
love
great.
Devin.
Yep, we do.
How can someone purchase this book?
Well, if they come to the launch, I will have copies there that I will autograph after the reading and discussion of select poems. Or they can just go to Amazon.com. In the search window, they can put my name, Joanne Cherefko, or the title of the book, Souls Till Like Soil. And they'll find the paperback version there.
Okay.
Or you could put the link.
Yes, we'll put the link right here for
Right.
everyone.
Right.
Well, thank you so much, Joanne, for explaining your book. It makes me really want to read it to figure out, I wonder what part I'm going to like the best. Probably the nature part. Thanks again, everybody, for watching Center Stage. And till next time, thank you, Joanne.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate your kindness and your support.
You got it. Buy the book.